Hi, I'm Ben,
And I'm Tristan.
and this is Rwby Ramblings, where we're going to talk about the show, Rwby.
Yeah, if you haven't heard, it's from Rooster Teeth. It's real good. But yeah, no, pretty much the main point of this is that me and my friend Ben here, we really like the show, and we've talked about it quite often at various meals and such.
Pretty much like an hour per episode, every day at lunch after the episode.
Yeah, pretty much. So then Ben just kind of suggested, hey, do you want to make a podcast? And after thinking about it for a little bit, I went, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I could do exactly what I've been doing, but this time in front of a microphone.
Yeah, that's pretty much the logic that we had going for us.
So here we are. We're starting at the logical starting point, which is Chapter 5, Episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, and before you get kind of angry with us, that's when we just decided to start doing the podcast. Sorry.
And so in the future, we'd probably do one episode at a time, but, we're just going to do 3 this time.
Yeah, and then after Volume 5 is over, we intend to go back and start talking about some of the other things that happened beforehand. Anyway, as previously mentioned, we're going to start with Episode 7, so yeah.
So Tristan, Episode 7, Rest and Recovery, what did you think?
You know, I actually really liked it. I liked the slow pacing. I liked everyone getting together. Like Oz/Oscar put it really nice. Oh, hey, you guys should just have the night. You guys should just take your time, enjoy each other. You're not gonna have this much later. That was not actually said, but probably heavily implied.
I mean, I thought the pacing was okay, but only because there are 14 episodes this season. It would have just annoyed me if there were only 12, which is kind of the vibe I got through Volume 4.
Okay. That's fair.
I mean, I feel like 7, 8, and 9 were all kind of slow. Not necessarily slow, but, like, definitely stretched out. Which is, like, it's not bad because there are 14 episodes. Okay. So, I mean, I'm glad they're taking the time. But it's also, like, I'm really hoping for a fight scene at some point, and, I was really disappointed when, yeah.
Okay. That's interesting, because I actually was pretty fond of the pacing.
I mean, of course I liked the episodes. Like, they weren't, I liked them. I understand why they're doing it, because now we can get this huge, awesome fight after Episode 9.
Yeah,
which obviously we'll get to. But yeah, so what about what happened in Episode 7? What did you think?
All right, so for starters, the whole, like, oh, hey, getting together, just eating dinner, just chatting about various stuff, that was pretty neat. I really liked how they're, like, all, like, kind of jabbing at each other, and then
It was cute.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Necessary, because it would have been weird to have them transition into doing stuff after them not having seen each other for, like, however long it's been.
Yeah, no, it was a very natural feeling. It was a great way to, in my opinion, to set up the stage. And also, something is that this I don't have an issue with, but I think it's gonna come into play pretty soon. Is that was too nice. It was kind of just too happy.
You're waiting for something bad to happen.
Yeah, I think things are gonna get pretty bad pretty fast.
Can I jump ahead about hypotheses of what bad things are gonna happen?
No?
Okay.
We're talking about Episode 7.
We'll get there.
Ben.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, there was something they were talking about during dinner that had some interesting tie-ins with the other stuff that happened earlier in the season. And so that's when Ren had that, like, sort of deep moment where he was talking about how, like, we've all changed so much. And so that reminded me of, a couple episodes ago, during the training sequence with Rwby and Oscar, Oz talks about how semblances change over time. And so at the time, I think you're there and you're thinking, oh, I wonder how Rwby's semblance is going to change. I wonder how Yang's semblance is going to change. But I think that that was actually sort of a false flag. And because thinking about which characters are changing the most, I think it's pretty obvious that Blake is the person who's going through the most character growth over in her own separate story arc. Because if you think about it, her entire worldview is being changed by Sun. Because up until this point of her life, in my opinion, you look like you're thinking a little bit.
I have something to say, but keep going.
Up at this point of her life, her whole worldview has been like, I'm not going to face my problems, I'm going to run away from my problems. That's her defining character trait. And like Oz says, like, it's either the semblance is defined by your defining character trait, or your defining character trait defines your semblance. And Blake's semblance is obviously she leaves behind a copy of herself to take the hit. It's like tied with her running away.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that as her outlook is changing, and it's definitely going to change somehow as this Belladonna fight storyline is finally resolved. Like, I think it could change her semblance because it's not going to fit her personality anymore. If she's, instead of running away, like, I'm going to face all of my problems.
I mean, okay, to go off the semblance thing, I think the semblance can be used offensively. It's not just necessarily, this shadow is left behind. I think that's typically how she uses it. But I kind of think she would be able to use it more offensively, and I don't necessarily think her semblance would change, more of just how she uses it changes.
So are you thinking more of a Sun clones kind of thing?
I am.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit more along those lines. I could be incorrect.
I guess it's really how you spin it.
Yeah. But besides that, going back to the character I think that's grown the most, I want to go to how Weiss just kind of went up to Yang and was like, hey.
Oh,
so
that was fantastic.
That was beautiful.
The Weiss, that's 8, right? Weiss therapy, is that what we're talking about?
That is what we're talking about. Sorry, I did jump ahead.
No, that's fine. Let's talk about it.
No, yeah. I definitely see what you're talking about with Blake, but I kind of thought that those changes were happening a little bit more in Volume 4, although you can argue the same for Weiss as well. But I found that Weiss has become a lot more open and willing to talk about problems and much more of a kind of support figure.
I mean, yeah, it was... I guess it was sort of expected because we knew her character was changing. But definitely, like, from Yang's perspective and such, it was completely unexpected. Yeah. And I was really glad to see her, like, kind of shrug off that shell and start to, like, welcome people into her life.
Yeah.
Which is, like, kind of the same thing that Blake's going through.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. I mean, Blake...
They each have their own version of loneliness, as they would say, I'm sure.
As Weiss pointed out, yes. But yeah, no. I also like how Yang's just like, oh no. Blake.
What did you think about Yang's emotional problems towards Blake? Like, what did you think that was?
Oh, that's easy. I thought she has abandonment issues.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's definitely true.
I'm pretty sure that's almost entirely where it stems from, is that she has abandonment issues. She got really close to Blake, and then Blake's like, I'm a leave because I need to, and then Yang said it herself, maybe she just needed Blake to stay to be her buddy.
How do you think it feeds into the Bumblebee thing?
Bumblebee thing as in...
Blake and Yang.
Oh no. We've started shipping this early.
Well, okay, because let me, since we're talking about Chapter 8,
sure,
let's talk about Chapter 8.
Okay.
So, obviously, Chapter 8 was, like, definitely the juiciest episode so far. Like, I felt like I was watching an episode of Gossip Girl, because the reveal where Ilya corners Blake, and Ilya's like, I love you. I did not see that coming at all.
No, well, that was great.
That was
something
incredible.
I was going to bring up, but yeah, no.
And I just think it's so funny. Blake is a really popular girl. Because
you're not wrong.
Because think about this. Right now, with Ilya, she's canonically in a love quartet with Ilya, Adam, and Sun.
Yeah.
And non-canonically, which... if we're counting Yang, which, community, some would do.
Yeah.
Then it's a love quintet.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking that, these two creators of the show are sitting down, and one of them's like, oh yeah, let's give each of the characters, like, a romance arc. And it's like, you know what? Let's just give them all to Blake.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. I mean, yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too. I mean, the one that... I actually feel bad for Sun because I don't think the one with him and Blake is going to work out in the end.
Really?
I don't. It makes me sad because I like Sun, but I honestly don't think that. I just don't see it in the way that in the conversations that they've had. To Blake, it seems like Sun is more of a person that has like helped her see the light more than a person that she would be interested in romantically. Like I could definitely see there are signs like, oh hey, like maybe I'm kind of interested in this person, or this person's interested in me, or this person's kind of a derp, which is kind of how she talks to him, which is great. It makes me so happy. But
It's true.
I just kind of don't see it working.
I mean, obviously, I think Sun is really great for Blake. Like,
I agree.
I mean, yeah, like you said, Sun helped her see the light, and like I really hope they stay together because of that. Because Sun has been so like
Very
helpful
positive
in like
influence.
steering Blake away from her.
Mhm.
I want to say toxic tendencies of running
Yeah.
away. So
I also think it might not work because he might get killed by Adam, but that's a different story. I think Sun is going to pull the White Knight and Adam's going to kill him because of it. But that's for a later day.
hopefully not too soon.
I mean, Adam's not going to show up for a while.
So while we're talking about Blake,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the whole assault on Belladonna.
Oh, I actually really like that.
Go.
So, when
Go
I
for
first watched that scene of Blake being beat up and then restrained,
Yeah.
the first thing that went in my mind is like, come on, Blake, I know you can totally kick all of these guys' ass. I'm like, come on, Blake, you totally got this. And
Yeah,
then
one of
when
my
she-
first thoughts was like how easily she went down.
Mhm.
But then
But-
again, like, she was betrayed.
Mhm.
Like, she was offering Ilya this olive branch like Sun did to her.
Mhm.
And then she just got stabbed in the fucking back. And that must have hurt so much.
I actually think why she did that was because Sun was in the background. She wanted to hear everything that was being planned.
Did she-
And then she did
Did she
it.
know Sun was there? I mean, she's...
Yes.
Okay, I mean, she signaled to him.
Yes.
But, like, the reason I asked that is because at the end, Sun is like, thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
Which to me implies that he wasn't invited.
Ah, I see. But then I don't know why she would have said now. Like-
Unless, like, she saw him.
I guess, but I don't think it was that.
Because if
clean
she
cut.
invited him, they didn't show it on screen. Because they
I know
very
they
clearly
didn't.
showed her not inviting him.
No, I know. I think that might have either been a signal because she might have thought she was being watched.
I don't know. I think the easiest explanation is that he followed her as he does constantly. And then she saw him.
Okay.
But, I don't know. It's possible the other way, too.
It's true. I'm not exactly sure. I would probably have to listen to the tone of his voice a little bit more to get that.
I think she was really caught by surprise. By Ilya.
Oh, I kind of don't, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of staged, but I don't know.
I mean, it was definitely staged. But just by who?
Fair. Anyway. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed that, most of that, because, like, the first time I watched it, I'm like, come on, Blake, you totally got this, and I thought about, like, oh, you know what, a guy jumping off, like, a few stories and, like, just slamming the ground, yeah, I can see why it takes you a little while to get up, and then I was like, oh, wait, no, that was a ploy the entire time, because she just wanted to hear the entire, like, bad guy speech, and,
I don't know if I buy that.
Okay. I mean, I think she did know that Sun was there, but wanted to give Ilya a chance. Like she,
Maybe.
Like, I think that she wanted to give Ilya a chance. Because remember, Blake also said, you heard what she said. They're going after my family. Which I guess could also say, like, oh, hey, she didn't know that. Because then that implies, oh, she doesn't know when he got there. Like, if you want to say, oh, she didn't know that he was there, it's like, but you just said, oh, but you heard what she said, assuming that he's been there the entire time. I don't know. Anyway, that's not exactly the most important thing to
It's
discuss.
kind of a small detail.
It's a pretty small detail.
That's okay. Okay. So what about the actual conflict at the Belladonna house?
The actual conflict. Well, before that, I want to go back to the Ilya liking Blake, because that was great.
Okay, definitely.
That was kind of like, wow, that's nice. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Apparently, you didn't realize that I actually liked you because you kept falling for Adam. I'm like, snap.
When I actually watched that episode the first time, one of the things I thought after watching it was, no wonder Blake never gets any screen time, because whenever she gets any screen time, it only increases the depth of her convoluted emotional backstory. And like, if she got much more, then God, like, oh my God, I thought she was gonna freak out when Ilya was like, we're gonna kill your family. and then we're gonna send you to Adam. It's like all of her worst fears coming
Yeah.
true simultaneously. Like, holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, she looked pretty terrified.
Yeah,
and sad,
yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Also, the way that she was reacting when it was like, I thought she was going to be a little bit more ballistic about it, but she wasn't. But that also made me think, oh, hey, she knew that she was about to get out of it because of Sun. But anyway, different. Moving on to the actual conflict at hand as was actively going on at their house. I'm interested.
Yo, Gira's a
Just-
boss.
yeah.
I'm so excited to watch him and Sun fight Corsican Finnick.
Agreed. But yeah, I was very interested to see like pretty much how their guards were going against like the White Fang and how the White Fang like actually got in there. It sounded like that they're storming the entire place. I also like how the mom's just like, get out of my house.
They're all badasses. I love
yeah.
it.
And then when the end of the episode was after the father just caught his friend, just let him fall on the ground, just like turned, threw off his jacket and transformed. I just thought it was the cutscene to a boss starting.
I could totally see that.
That's what I saw, and
You're
then when the episode ended, I'm like, wait, that's not the cliffhanger.
That happens a lot, doesn't it?
It's like that's not where you put the cliffhanger. You put the cliffhanger like where he's charging at them.
Just quick note, I really liked when Gira threw the spear at either Corsica or Finnick, I don't know which
Yeah.
one. And like it went through his hood and then like
Lodged
the
him.
outfit was dynamic. Like that was neat.
That's true.
And also I didn't recognize him at all without the hood.
Oh,
I did a double take and I was like, wait, what? Maybe it's just because I'm dumb. But like it was cool that the outfit changed.
I mean, it's also because we haven't seen him without the hood.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, like the hood is kind of a pretty defining characteristic of people until they don't have the hood anymore. And you're like, oh, that's what they look like.
Mm.
But yeah, besides that, I mean, that's kind of the main things I had from that. The only thing I would want to go back to is in episode 7, the serious talk that they had, where I was like, oh, hey, is that stuff true? Yeah. It's like, yeah, that was true. And it's like, and then Yang's just kind of like, hey, so I'm okay with doing this because my sister's great and knows the right thing to do somehow. But we need to be honest with each other, which is nice because that actually like harks back to like I thought, oh wait, this is getting to episode 9, but Raven's like insistency on honesty, which I
Right.
think she holds in great value in terms of the people she actually trusts. Like she definitely doesn't trust the Salem people, but
With good reason. Yeah.
for very good reason.
Yeah, hold on. Before we leap ahead to that.
That's fine.
Oh, there were a couple things that I was thinking about when I saw that scene in episode 7. One of the, I guess that's a small thing, but Ozpin said his power was dwindling.
Yeah, I took note of that.
I don't know what did he mean by this?
I think he's dying.
I don't know about that.
I think he is losing his powers. I don't think he has necessarily that much more time left. But yeah,
Okay.
that's what I took from that.
I'd have to see. I think that needs to be elaborated on further, but it's like an
I agree.
interesting thing. And another thing I was thinking of is just, I mean, the Fallen Maiden Towers, you know, they were gifted by Ozpin, as was confirmed, and they obviously transfer when the person dies.
Yeah.
So like Raven and Crow,
Mhm.
are their powers going to transfer to people when they die?
I doubt it.
But like that would make sense because that's like how all the powers work.
I mean, that's only all the powers that we have seen.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's what I said.
But I mean, maybe they transfer. It's just,
I mean, that would be cool.
oh gosh, I'd go to Rwby and Yang one.
That would be sick.
That'd be really good. Oh gosh, that opens the doors for so many things we don't even need to get into. Oh, that's a whole different episode right there. But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about before 7 and 8 before we move into the meat that is 9?
Yeah, a couple things.
Okay, good.
Another thing I wanted to talk about in 8 was, well, well, that's not that important, but the first time I watched the scene where Blake, like, used her dust thing in Trav Corsic and Fennec, which was cool, I'm happy she used dust again.
Yeah.
At first I was like, why didn't they just take them out? But then upon rewatching it, like, I was like, oh, you know, they're being attacked. Like, it makes sense that they need a second to, like, regroup and is everyone okay?
Yeah.
But also tied to that, the whole thing with Kali. Do you think Kali's gonna die?
Kali?
Blake's mom? Kali Belladonna?
I think she's gonna get kidnapped or killed, yes.
Because what I was thinking about, I don't know, is at the end of episode 9, I guess, when Blake and Ilya are facing off.
Yeah.
Why is Ilya just, like, sitting there, you know?
Oh, because she knew Blake was coming that way.
Because she knew Blake was coming, and because she's trying to prevent her, probably, from getting to her mom.
Also because of the conflict from episode 8 that has to get resolved. Yeah.
It's been so long since someone died.
Dude, don't say that.
I can't wait to watch episode 10 and watch it happen all over again.
Oh no. This is too soon. Although it's been the past few episodes have been very nice and happy, and it just is the sign that it's gonna get bad really fast. I mean, are we getting into 9? Because 9 is a great indicator of how bad shit's gonna get. Okay. We have 9. We have a meeting between Salem and Raven's people. Salem's people are like, hey, so we're going to destroy Haven, and we want the relic before it goes, and you have the key to that, so give it or we kill you.
Can I just say that Watts cracked me up?
Agreed.
That was so funny. When Raven called them all out, and Watts was like, yeah, that's pretty spot on.
But I was also a doctor. Yeah, no, Raven smoked them. It was fantastic.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
You have to wonder how Mercury and Emerald feel about that. When they're like, yeah, no, they're just kids we tricked into following us. Like,
yeah, no, their looks at when they looked at each other, it was like, wait a minute. Like, I think they took a double take for a second, like, huh?
I'm being tricked? Emerald's like, wait a minute, that's my thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's my job. Yeah, no, and then, and it's like, oh, hey, here's the Spring Maiden. It's like, okay, prove it. Here you go. It's like, okay, yeah, you're the Spring Maiden. Yeah, no, Cinder's reaction to that was actually really interesting. She was ecstatic to see her powers.
She was lusting after that power.
She was, which...
like, pretty hard.
Yeah, which goes to a theory that I've had that her goal is to get all 4 of the fall powers. I mean, all 4 of the maiden powers.
That is probably... I mean, I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Not on this, obviously.
Obviously. Not yet.
But, yeah, that seems like a pretty obvious thing, I think. And I don't know how the power stacking would work.
Probably fine. It did all belong to the same individual before.
Right. No, I mean, it would just be really cool to see is all I mean, I guess.
Would it? I think it's terrifying. Anyway.
So do you think... So do you think Cinder's plan is to kill Spring?
Kill Spring? No.
To get her powers?
Not immediately. I mean, okay. So I think her plan is they are going to get the Tome of Knowledge. Is that what relic that is? Yeah.
Okay.
They want the Tome of Knowledge. After that, like, that's her primary goal. Well, at least that's the group's primary goal. Her primary goal, I think, might be to kill Rwby. Different problem later in the conversation. But, yeah, no, I think that their intended goal is to get the Tome of Knowledge. Cinder might try to kill the Spring Maiden, but I doubt it, considering the delicacy of the scenario and what happened last time she diddled and daddled around and tried to kill some people. Well, it didn't go well for her.
You know what Raven said? Raven said Salem only uses people until they're not useful to her. After Spring opens the vault,
she's not useful.
She's not useful anymore.
That's a decent indicator that they might try to do it. I don't think it would work, though.
I mean, I hope they try it.
Like, the Spring Maiden is, in my opinion, much more...
Yeah,
well-rounded
when have
and
Mercury,
hardy.
Emerald, and Cimerald ever taken on a maiden before, right?
Oh gosh, they have. That one.
And that was when Cinder didn't have maiden powers.
That's true. Oh, you have a good point.
So, like, it could happen.
It could happen.
They're just going to do the same thing to every maiden.
I mean, I think this one's gonna be more prepared for it.
I mean,
but-
obviously that's not going to happen because...
well, we don't know that.
Well, obviously that's probably not going to happen because a whole lot more stuff's going to be going on.
Yeah. Also, her character has to develop. Just quick side note: I like her character. I like the Spring Maiden's character a lot.
You think so?
I do.
How do you think she's developed?
So
Because I haven't seen a whole lot.
there's not much of her so far, but it's clear that she values Raven not only as someone has taken over her, has raised her essentially, but as also someone who's a strong leader and cares for her community. She has confidence in her own abilities, besides the fact, I think, that she's just a maiden. And it seems like she knows what's important to her. Like, she knows that Raven is kind of her family, and that
Mm-hmm.
the village is her family, and that's very important to her. And she did say that she would do whatever she can to get the job done. One concern I have is that I think she might get jealous of Yang.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
And when she questioned, oh, hey, when your daughter's in the mix of this, are you going to do anything?
You mean like if
Yeah.
Raven joins with the Ozpin gang?
Oh, I don't think she will. I think she'll die before that happens.
Yeah, I'd love to know what exactly happened.
Between them?
I mean, I guess I have a pretty good idea.
It's something we can talk about, but I think we have other things to discuss at the moment, and I have a feeling that will get elaborated kinda
Hopefully soon. One thing I did want to bring up that I was thinking about when I was rewatching the Vernal Raven interaction
Mm-hmm.
was that, like, there's like a lot of parallels between Raven and Vernal and Adam and Ilya.
Really? You think?
Because I'm just saying, if you think about their creeds, they're basically the same thing, just with a word swapped. Adam's okay.
Really?
Well-
Raven is, I want to protect my people and not get in other people's way unless if it's advantageous for me. Adam's is, let's get rid of the people who have been stepping on us.
Okay, it's an oversimplification, but I'm just saying that Raven's like, I need to protect my tribe.
Yeah.
I need to do what's best for my tribe. I'll do whatever
Yes.
it takes as long as it's best for the tribe.
Correct.
And then Adam is the same thing, except just the Faunus.
No, I disagree. Adam is on his own agenda of revenge in general. He is not. I don't think he cares that much about the Faunus. I don't.
That's true.
I think he is much more just. He is chaotic and hungry for destruction. He is not looking out for anyone's best interest, in my opinion, beside his own.
That is a good point. Adam probably does not care about the Faunus.
I think Ilya cares about the Faunus, but has been tricked into thinking that this is the only way to save them. And after the White Fang attacks Haven, I think that's going to be obvious to her. But that's once again for the future. Assuming she doesn't die in the next episode, which I hope she doesn't. I like her character too.
How do you think this fight between Blake and Ilya is going to resolve? Because,
I think Blake is going to win,
well, yeah.
and Ilya is going to get injured or escape.
But, she's going to die.
No.
I mean, I
don't-
hope she doesn't die.
I don't think
But,
she's going to die.
Blake is so pissed at Ilya.
I don't think so.
I mean, she at least feels hurt by Ilya.
Maybe, but I don't think Blake is the one to try. Blake's not the type of person to take out her anger on a friend. I think she's still going to try to reach out to Ilya.
I can see that.
I think she has been changed enough by Sun to be. Also, she's the type of person to do it anyway. She's a very kind-hearted person.
That's true. Here's what I was picturing, though, in my head. All right?
Mhm.
Here's how, I don't want it to go like this, but here's how it could go. So Blake and Ilya fight.
Uh-huh.
And it's a sick fight, right?
Sure.
Blake obviously wins.
Sure.
And Ilya is defeated on the ground,
Yeah.
panting.
Uh-huh.
While this has been going on, the rest of Ilya's goon squad
Oh.
has captured Kali. And then basically they execute her in front of Blake. and then Blake just goes crazy and kills. Oh man, that'd be crazy.
Oh wow.
Could you picture that?
I can, but I don't see her going berserk.
I
I mean, I see her like. Actually, I kind of do.
I mean, if they killed Collie, she would go.
If they were
she
to
would go
kill her mom right in front of her, that'd be very.
That'd be pretty heavy.
That'd be pretty. I don't think they would intentionally do it in front of her though. I think it would be accidental. Which yeah, she'd still get really pissed, but I don't think she'd kill anyone unless it was.
Look, I'm just saying that'd be a cool way to do it.
I see.
Of course, I love Ilya, and I don't want her to die.
I also don't want Collie to die. She seems like
I also don't want Collie to die, but someone's bound to die.
I don't disagree, and it just makes me sad. Let's see. Besides that, we didn't even get to one of probably my favorite parts of the conversation between Raven and the Salem squad.
Yeah.
Which was, I want my brother dead.
Oh yeah, that happens.
That was sick.
That was so.
So I was surprised because
obviously
I didn't. Because okay, I thought that was either a power play, of like my brother's gonna be fine and you guys are gonna get screwed by fighting him.
That's such a power play.
Yeah. Or she actually wants her brother dead, and this is actually probably a really good way to do it.
Win-win, right?
Yeah. No, because I don't see why she would want him dead. Like, sure, she's frustrated with him and hates the fact that he's with Osmond, but she really cares about her family. That's one of the people she's connected to via a portal.
Right.
Like,
You're right.
I don't think she spent so many years with her brother. Like, they were pretty much by themselves for years. They were inseparable. They were twins. I mean, I don't see it that she actually wants her brother dead, but I think she realized how much Cinder would have been okay with this plan.
Yeah, I think it's pretty, in my opinion, it's pretty clear she doesn't want Crow dead, and it was just like a super power play because I think Raven's pretty smart.
Yeah. Oh, very much so.
And she was playing dumb, I think, in that encounter. Because when they showed up, she was like, "Oh, I don't think I've met you. What are your names?"
Oh.
But if she had been watching Yang,
oh, you're right.
She would definitely know who Mercury and Emerald were.
No, I don't know if she would know who they are.
I mean, she would at least recognize them.
Oh, she'd probably know who Mercury was.
Because, the whole thing.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I sort of mentioned to you before this, I kind of picture Raven as having like sort of omnipotent vision over the people she watches, and obviously that's probably not true. But like, I mean, she knew enough to intervene on the train.
Yeah.
And like,
I mean,
she must know.
I think she just knows where they are at all times, and maybe can peer through her like some sort of portal and kind of see what's going on at a specific time. But I don't think she always has tabs on them unless she specifically wants to focus on this one person. I mean, also, if she's traveling around as a Raven, she can just easily be hidden away, watching something develop, and then just jump in if she feels like it's necessary. And then if she gets like a update of like, oh hey, this guy over here, like maybe sometimes she could be connected to like emotions.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, she might be connected to them like almost on an emotional level. But I don't think she has like an all-seeing orb kind of thing going on.
Well, yeah, definitely not literally, but like,
yeah,
I would feel like it's really unlikely that she doesn't know who they are.
Okay.
But
she knew who the doctor was, so yeah, I agree.
Did she?
She did.
Did she like know him?
Yeah.
She said
in the list of the things, she's like, yeah, you have this guy.
She said disgraced leading scientist. But, like, I don't know if that was, like, a...
That's pretty specific.
You're right. Maybe
I found that very specific. For just, like, I've seen... It's not like I've seen your face. It's like, I knew your occupation.
Maybe he was, like,
failed.
in the news and she recognized... I don't know. Anyway, I think the reason she was playing dumb is because she's setting them up for this fight.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, because they don't know that Crow has Ozpin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no one... Oh, wait. Does she even know that?
I think she must know.
I think she knows now.
She must know.
She just went by the window. I think she knows now.
Well, yeah, but I think she knew... I feel like she knew before, and like she
Okay.
was setting them up into this trap,
Oh.
and they're gonna like spring Osmond on them. They're gonna let him out of his cage, and he's just gonna like
But
hopefully tip the fight in their
But
favor.
it's not Osmond, it's Oscar.
I mean,
And Oscar has limitations as his physical body. That's actually going to be his limitations.
it's gonna be a reduced Ozpin, but it's still gonna be Ozpin.
Ozpin, the square root of Ozpin is Oscar. No,
Ozpin light.
Ozpin like. Yeah, okay, mini Ozpin. That's interesting. That's actually, yeah, no. This is seeming a lot more like Raven springing a trap on.
That's what it
I mean,
seems
it already seems like that, but
Just
more to a degree since you bring up the Oscar factor.
so Raven's plan,
Mhm.
her master plan here,
Yeah.
is to go in, steal the artifact,
Yep.
run away.
Yep.
Okay, first of all, we don't know anything about the artifacts, right?
Absolutely nothing.
And
It-
I went back and rewatched
Mhm.
part of Volume 4 where Salem and Cinder are talking about the artifact.
Yeah.
And what the artifact at Beacon. And what Salem says
Mhm.
is that basically that they're searching Beacon for it,
Uh-huh.
but they don't have it.
Yeah.
So, we still don't really know anything about the artifacts. We
No.
just know that they don't have the Beacon artifact unless they like spring it on us,
I don't
which
think they
probably
would.
won't happen.
No.
But
Then who has it?
or where is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the relics are?
I honestly don't know. I have thought about that for a while. They could be as simple as a physical item that actually is imbued with power. It
Mhm.
could be an actual like embodiment of power. I highly doubt it's a living being. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
That
The-
would kind of suck.
The first two thoughts that came into my mind were, the easiest twists they could pull are, one, it's a person, but they've already done that with the Spring Maidens.
Very much so.
So I don't think they're not going to do that. The second one I can think of is that maybe it's a weapon,
Hmm.
and that would be neat.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Oh, actually, that kind of harks back to some of the stuff from the history stuff. About certain people with like certain powers and all that stuff, and how like they could turn the tide of war by themselves and stuff like that. It could be onto that kind
I
of
haven't
level.
seen those in a while.
Yeah, I just remembered a brief instance of it, but that's definitely something we should talk about more later down the line of what these artifacts actually are, because it's going to get soon. Probably, I don't want to say this season one's going to get revealed, because I can't guarantee that.
I've been thinking about the timeline for the season.
Yeah.
Episode 10, I pray, is going to wrap up the Belladonna
Sure.
plotline. We still have 4 episodes after that.
That's actually a lot of episodes.
So the battle is going to happen.
You think the White Fang's going to show up in Haven in the next 4 episodes?
They're already there. Adam's already there.
He's in Haven?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if that's confirmed.
Because, he sent him, the telegraph. And Elio's like, we're going to send you to Haven, to Adam.
Oh, shoot, you're right.
Yeah. So, Adam's there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have a list, actually, of who's there.
Oh,
Do you want to hear it? So,
So you do.
on Team Rwby, Team R, as I've denoted them,
I see.
there's Rwby, Weiss, Yang, obviously,
Uh-huh.
Crow, Oscar, and Ozpin. Those are the obvious contenders. And then there's also, I'm thinking the citizens of Vale are going to be on their side, because they're going to notice a conflict.
Okay.
And specifically what I'm thinking is the students, obviously,
Sure.
of the academy. And specifically Arslan's team,
Okay.
which the punchy
Yeah.
with the string.
Mm-hmm.
I really like her. And I want her to be there.
Okay.
So I'm kind of projecting.
Okay.
But so it's definitely those, Rwby, Weiss, Yang, Crow, Oscar.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the students from Haven come in.
Oh, what about John and those guys?
And John and Nora and Ren.
Yeah.
Yes, them too. They're there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get to that. And then on the other side we have Cinder, Mercury, Emerald, and then excitingly Adam and Hazel,
Okay.
because Hazel's with Adam, and I am so excited to see Hazel fight. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure Watt's going back home.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
He seems like a non-combatant.
Yeah.
And then Leo, who is also probably a non-combatant.
Oh, you think he's gonna stay on Salem's team?
Do you think he's not going to stay on Salem's team?
I don't. I think after he realizes Osmond's not dead, he's changing sides.
He must know that Osmond reincarnates.
Why?
Because he's one of Osmond's lieutenants. I mean, Crow knows.
Yeah, but I think Crow's like his right-hand man, specifically. Like, I think one of his lieutenants is just one of the people that he said, like, oh, hey, this artifact, take care of it.
If Leo was like, oh, if I'm in the clear, Osmond's dead, then all of a sudden Osmond shows up like what's
Oscar.
up, bitch?
It's like, hi.
That would be so funny.
I'm Oscar, and I'm Osmond. And this
He would
is your
die.
doom. He's like, Osmond? Yeah. Why are you a child? Different problem.
Oz shouldn't let Leo rejoin them.
Why?
He's obviously untrustworthy.
I think that he's only on their side because he has a dagger at his throat back and...
Yeah, but he's a coward.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, he's the epitome of the
Cowardice.
lion from Wizard of Oz.
I know, but like...
He's gonna get his lion heart. Don't worry. Don't worry. He's currently in the cowardly phase of the cowardly lion.
And you think he's gonna be courageous?
I do.
Okay.
I think he's gonna.
You have a lot of faith in him.
I do.
I don't know.
I have a lot of faith in the guy who I think wants to be righteous, but currently feels like he can't because he's too weak, and feels like he lost probably the only ally he had that could fight Salem.
Okay, that's fair. I guess if he didn't know about Osmond.
I don't think he does.
Okay, I guess I can see it.
Anyway, and then continuing.
Just to finish off this list, the White Fang, like grunts, whoever's there, they'll be there.
Yeah.
And then on the wild card side, there's Raven and Bernal.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're probably going to start with Salem, maybe. But then, like, they won't. And then also Raven's bandits might be there.
Not many.
I mean, maybe they won't come.
I doubt many.
Okay.
That's putting them in danger for no good reason.
And then obviously the fighting will attract Grimm.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. That's gonna be real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's gonna be great.
So in that, when you mentioned Raven starting on Salem's side, I think what's gonna happen is that when Raven like shows up in front of Crow's like Raven, what the frick are you doing? He's like, don't worry about it. It's like it's gonna be fine. They're gonna have like some sort of sick signal because they've known each other for so long, and then they're just gonna like turn like they're gonna make it look like they're about to kill Crow, and then they're just gonna flip the tables like.
Tristan's
Dang.
gonna be waiting for the signal right up until Crow's head comes off. He's like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Rip.
no, it's gonna be bad. No, if Crow actually dies, I'll be pretty disheartened.
That would be awful.
Oh
yeah. Do you think Raven warned them?
Who?
Team Oz, Rwby.
Absolutely not.
But like, she went there in Raven form. Like, do you think she's gonna warn them?
Absolutely not. I think she's just checking in on them.
Okay.
I have very little faith that she is going to warn them at all. If anything, I believe she imagines that if they do fight up against those guys, that they would have the ability to survive and get away, considering the other chaos that's going to go on. And if not, I think she would be willing to help simply because her daughter is there. Also, once again, I don't think she actually wants her brother to die. Like, if it happened to happen in this whole set of chaos, I don't think she would be overly upset about it. But I don't think she directly wants to kill her brother.
I mean, yeah. I think Raven does care about her family,
Very
despite
much so.
her. Yes. Which is evident by the portals.
Yeah, evident by the portals, evident by how she's like, hey, Yang, do you want to join my side? That'd be really nice. We can start over as a family. And I don't think she has malicious intent when it comes to like actually protecting her people.
She just kind of comes off as a dick.
I mean, yeah, she kind of is.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
But deep down, I think she does.
Oh,
She does
I
care.
think she cares a lot.
Yeah.
She cares a lot about the people she actually chooses to protect.
Protect.
She
There were
saved-
quotes around
she
that.
saved Yang's life.
Just
Yeah, I'm
once.
pretty sure
Just
Yang-
once.
She wouldn't be here. I don't think. I think she'd be dead otherwise.
She would be dead. That would have been
I think she would.
that would have been a much darker twist, much earlier in the series.
Agreed. Yeah. What else do we want to talk about before? Oh. I am looking forward. I mean, you already mentioned this, but the fight with the father and son. That's actually really funny. I never thought about that. That's actually really funny. Against those two hooded twins.
Corsican Fennec.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. I think they'll be fine.
Oh, they'll be fun.
Unless.
I'm
those-
excited that Son gets to prove himself to
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah. Besides that, is there anything? I mean, a little bit more to talk about.
One other thing
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention is that at the end of episode 9,
Mhm.
when they're doing those really awkward cuts,
Yeah.
back and forth very quickly at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and Oscar's like, Oz wants to talk to you about something. What do you think?
Oh, okay. I think that might be about Lionheart. That might be about their next move.
I mean, there aren't a lot of clues, but
No,
it's
no.
just something to note, I guess.
No, I think it's it's their next step. It's what that group's gonna do next.
The next
Essentially, is what it might be like an actual like drastic measure where it's like, hey, so we don't trust Lionheart. Well, actually, Osmond still might kind of I think Osmond would give him a second chance for good reason.
What if?
But maybe not.
What if they all go? What if they all go to Raven's camp in 2 days, and then Raven's camp all goes to Haven, and they're like, "Well,
Yeah.
this is awkward."
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're going to Raven's camp anytime soon.
I mean, that was the plan.
That was the initial plan, but now that they got the information from Yang and Wise of like, oh, hey, we were just at that camp, I think they're going to worry a bit more about... I think something's going to happen to make it so that they want to stay in Haven.
Okay, I'd be really disappointed if this awesome fight didn't happen. I mean, it's gonna happen.
There's so much more to the show than the fights, though, and they've been showing that. It's been great. Oh, the character development and the facial expressions.
I know. No, I know it's been great.
Oh, the pacing. Oh, I love it. I love it. I've been liking this so much. But yeah, that's about all I have for those few episodes at the moment. Is there any wrapping up or any other things you want to add before we kind of conclude the first episode of our podcast? Oh yeah, by the way, this is the pilot episode. We actually never said that.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah, no, I think that pretty much covers most of the major things I wanted to talk about. I probably forgot something, but that's fine.
It's fine.
I think we've gone on long enough.
We have. I believe we have. To anyone who actually listened to this, thank you very much.
If anyone is listening.
No, you don't say that.
Oh, okay, I'll let you do it.
Oh, okay. You're fine. But yeah, no, if you guys are interested, we're going to be probably continuing to post these on YouTube and on SoundCloud. We're probably going to start doing one episode at a time, and then after this season's over, go back and do other episodes. If you want to send us any questions, we will set up an email and then tell you guys what it is in the next episode. All right? Well, thank you very much for listening. I'm Tristan.
And I'm Ben.
And this was Rwby Ramblings.